Hi everyone, hope you're okay today. Sorry, got a frog in my throat. My name's Natalie. I'm an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, amongst many other things. I've been training in various modalities now for a few years, and Access Consciousness is one of my favorite tools because Access Consciousness is made for people whose first language is energy. There's two different species of people on this planet. There's those people whose first language is energy, and then there's like human people, as I call them, who operate from a very linear sort of matter of fact kind of black is black and white is white, and there's no in between, and if it's not there you can't see it. It doesn't mean it, if it's not there, it's not real. If you can't physically see something, it's not there. You're being paranoid, you're being sensitive, you're being weird. Empaths, people who are highly aware of energies. So you will spot bullshit from a mile away. So if somebody's smiling at you and saying nice things to you, but the energy of what they're projecting at you is different, you will feel it, you will perceive it, you will be aware of it. And often empaths make themselves wrong for having this awareness because it's not spoken about in this reality. We're not educated around energy being a language. We're educated on sight, smell, hearing, touch, taste, but anything beyond that is not spoken about. So empaths will make themselves wrong for having these awarenesses, and often they will be labeled as having as being paranoid, oversensitive, depressed, mentally ill, and all sorts of other things. And what if that's not true? What if your ability to read energies and perceive energies is not a wrongness or a disability at all? It's actually a capacity that you have, but you've not been taught how to manage this capacity, so it goes in on yourself. And if you're so aware of energies and you pick up on the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of other people, and you don't have tools to manage that, then you will be at the effect of other people, their behaviors, this reality, because this reality is a very, very sort of harsh, the way it functions is quite harsh. So for empaths, this can be perceived as quite a violating energy. When you're aware of thoughts, feelings, and emotions and of energies and projections of other people, it's like being energetically violated constantly. And it causes resentment, fear, anger, rage, fury, hate. And it can be really debilitating. Like I identify myself as somebody who is severely empathic. And for years and years and years, I tried everything to sort of dull that awareness and fit into this reality because I didn't want to have these awarenesses. So I bought the idea that I was paranoid, delusional, mentally ill. And then I created that as my reality because I bought this idea that I was wrong, paranoid, that I'm not really aware of energies. I'm being paranoid, or I'm sensitive and I'm thin-skinned. And then I got diagnosed. I had a diagnosis of bipolar. I was put on loads of medication. I used drugs for years. I was addicted to drugs for years because I was trying to dull my awareness. I was trying to fit myself back in this reality so that I wasn't aware of these energies, so that I was quite happy to be diagnosed as mentally ill, because then I didn't have to look at my capacities or take responsibility for them. I could then be at the effect of this reality and the people who were telling me there was something wrong with me. And that's how I could then fit back into this reality. And that worked for a little bit. I built my life around that diagnosis, and I built my life around being a recovering addict and having a disease of addiction. And I built my life around being on medication and having psychiatrists and doctors and welfare benefits so I didn't have to work. And I thought, okay, I have this disability, I have a mental illness. That means I can't work. And I couldn't at the time. I genuinely couldn't work. I couldn't function because I was so sensitive and thin-skinned. I couldn't even be around other people. I couldn't maintain friendships or relationships with people because I was too sensitive and paranoid and thin-skinned. And then I came across energy modalities, different energy healing modalities, because I was trying to look for ways to, get rid of this thin-skinned thing that I had and this inability to be around other people and this paranoia that I had and this delusional stuff that I had going on. So I started looking at Reiki and theta healing and angel cards and things like that. And I really enjoyed it because it was a way of removing myself from this reality and looking for something greater. It was a way of giving purpose to everything I was going through and a way of connecting to something much greater than what is offered in this reality. And I started connecting to the universe and the vast infinite space of the universe. And I started seeing myself as not just a body who's walking around being depressed, being suicidal, taking drugs. I started to see myself as an infinite being, part of a much greater thing than just planet Earth. I started to become really aware of the fact that I'm not just a body. And that helped me a lot. It really did. And then that went on for some time. And then I came across the tools of access consciousness. And access consciousness is an amazing modality. It's not even a modality for me, it's a way of life. Because it's really taught me how to get out of the wrongness of me, get out of the wrongness of the fact that I'm aware of energies. It's given me a language to communicate these awarenesses that I have and to make sense of them. And it's given me tools that I can use to outcreate these awarenesses that I've got and to use them as my capacity rather than a disability, which it's labeled as in this reality. And they're not just airy fairy tools. They're not like, oh, do this spiritual thing, stand on your head and, say this mantra 20 times and blah, de, blah, de, blah. They're very pragmatic, practical tools that work to dissipate the charge on energies that you're aware of. And what's happened to me as I've chipped away at all of my stuff using the tools of access consciousness, I'm now getting to a space of being where I'm not at the effect of this reality anymore, or the people in this reality, the people around me, and I'm not trying to control my capacity anymore. I'm not trying to dull it down. I'm seeing it as my greatest strongness and not my biggest wrongness, which has completely changed the charge on it for me. And it's also given me access to another community of people who are the same as me, which has been a great relief because I realized that I'm not actually as messed up as I thought I was, or that this reality labeled me as. And it's given me tools that I can use. So that I'm no longer at the effect of energies of this reality. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I go into it. Like sometimes I wake up and I have to do about 10 minutes work to get back into my reality. Because like this morning I woke up perceiving, sorry, not even feeling, perceiving lots of heavy energies, perceiving lots of anger, rage, fury, hate, fear, doubt, obsessing about things. And then before I would have woken up and I would have stayed like that the whole day, I would have gone down that rabbit hole of, oh my God, I'm depressed today. This is a rubbish day. I'm not going to do anything. I hate my life. But now I've got the tools where I can wake up and I can perceive these energies and I can actually go, actually, does any of this belong to me? Or am I just picking up on the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of energies of everybody else around me today? Everybody that lives, all my neighbors, all my, people in my area, everyone in London. How many people have woken up miserable in London today that I'm aware of? And I can use some access consciousness tools to dissipate those energies so that I'm not at the effect of them anymore. And what a great tool. What a great way to create freedom for yourself by using those tools. So my job as an access consciousness facilitator is to educate other people about this capacity that you have as energy being your first language, so that you can create and generate your life away from the linear constructs of this reality and how this reality works. Because if you're empathic, you operate very differently to other people here. It's like there's two different species of people. We're literally like a different species of human, like, and it's not that they're wrong and you're right, or you're right and they're wrong. It's like cows and pigs. They're just a different species of animal. Cows aren't greater than pigs and pigs aren't greater than cows. They're just different. Neither one of them is wrong. So what if you're just a different species of human? And that's not wrong. And now you've got that awareness, how can you use your empathic abilities to create and generate your life? Because if your energy is your first language, you're not going to create and generate like other people do. You're going to create and generate very differently. You create and generate from the space of energy being your first language. So, yeah, I do a lot of calls about this, guys, because I'm really, I'm really looking to invite other people whose first language is energy to stop seeing it as a wrongness. Stop trying to dull your awareness. Stop trying to fit back into this reality and fit in with the other species. It's like a cow trying to turn itself into a pig, or a pig trying to turn itself into a cow. It's not going to work. Why don't you just be you and see what that creates and generates? And I've got a call coming up tonight, actually, called Out Creating Other People's Realities and Accessing Your Infinite Being. Because what if you can outcreate these energies that you're aware of? You can just look at them and go, that's interesting. I'm aware of that energy. I'm not going to take it on. I'm not going to become that energy. I'm not going to make it mine. I'm just going to witness it and go, that's interesting. That's interesting that person's choosing anger. I'm not going to be at the effect of that. I'm not going to take that anger on. I'm not going to go into their reality and choose something different. Because as empathic people, you go into other realities at the speed of space. You plagiarize other people's realities. And what if you didn't have to do that anymore? What if you can create and generate your reality from your infinite awareness, knowing, being, perceiving, and receiving? And what is possible for you then when you start to do that? So the call tonight, guys, it's called Outcreating Other People's Realities and Accessing Your Infinite Being. We start at 7 o'clock UK time. And if you want to purchase the call, there'll be a recording as well. If you can't make it live, my website is www.alchemyvibes.co.uk. And you can find the call under my classes section on the website, upcoming classes with Natalie. And I hope this video has been a contribution to you guys. It definitely has for me. And I will see you all soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.